What ho and welcome to this very exciting episode of Jack's Off on a Plane with. I'm gonna basically we were put on the wrong plane. We were almost in the air, and then they had to turn the plane around. But joining me this week is none other than the lovely Ninja Space Unicorn. Hello. Right. That's very strange. That was very strange. Not only I'm used to sort of my microphone just turning off, but it just disappeared as a source. Completely vanished. Magic. Oh, it's Ninja Space Unicorn. That's what I was saying. From off of Twitch. Blimey. So where were we? Oh yeah, you were telling me. You went to Dubai once. Yes.
Like a mouthful of crossbow.
Yes. We can't hear NSU. Oh, for goodness sake. Can hear Jack, not NSU, which means that the desktop sound isn't on. That's also disappeared. What on earth is going on? Right. Okay, I think we're there. Have you ever? And now my cam's frozen. This is good.
Oh,
this is good. Have you ever felt that you just made something in life that's just too complicated to manage with?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, I do get that impression a lot from things that I do.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine.
It's all fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We've got a lovely plane all to ourselves. Well, I say all to ourselves.
Oh, she looks like a lovely lady.
She does, doesn't she? Yes.
I like her sweater.
She seems a little tense. I think I'm sensing a sort of nervous flyer vibe there.
I hope she's not too nervous. I'm already anxious enough. I don't fly well.
I'm going to leave the video ninja sharing a window thing up because I think it adds to the verisimilitude of the scene.
Okay.
Apparently the whitish fox is claiming ownership of 5 of those complications.
Yes, he has 5 children.
Oh,
Oh no, 4
blimey.
children and a dog.
Yeah, that'll do it.
He's one of my moderators, so.
I think 4 of them are forgivable, but one of them, and it's not one of the dog. It's not the dog.
No.
No. Be grateful at least she looks how I feel on a plane.
Oh no, 5 children and a dog.
Blimey,
Wait, you have
darling.
5? I didn't realise. I thought you had 4. No, 5 children. I am rubbish.
This is. I think we're waiting for clearance.
Are we waiting for Clem? It's taking some
I'm being
time.
up in the air by now.
They've not even bought us any fucking drinks yet.
No, right? I think we can order. On-demand service unavailable at this time. Oh, we cannot order. Dash.
Well, that's most unfortunate. Wait, we can order food? That's impressive.
If we were doing the longer flight, I think we can order food. But this is quite a short haul
okay.
to. I want to say Nova Scotia.
Go check. Nova Scotia, is that where we're going? Okay, I've not been there before. I know nothing about the
we're
place.
going. I think we're going the other direction. I think we're going to New York.
Oh.
So what
Oh, it's like a magical mystery tour.
It is. It is. What brings you to New York?
Shopping?
Excellent.
Yes.
Yes. Shopping is good. Shopping in New York is fabulous.
Yeah, shopping is what I'm going to be doing. Yeah.
Good. I'm gonna try and get into Saturday Night Live up at 30 Rockefeller, which is a sort of address, I think. But yes.
Well, you can do that, and I'll go shopping and for food and
Yeah.
all of the yummy things.
Yeah. Yes, and have you seen much Saturday Night Live?
A little, not a huge amount. I don't watch a huge amount of television. I'm usually always online, really.
It's an odd thing where it's usually I think rough. Can't hear the game because.
Are we moving?
You know,
We're moving.
Good. Yeah. So no, they do this weird thing. It's a very New York show, but they take the audience often pretty much off the street. Or it's something that tourists do. They go and see SNL, and they're not necessarily fans of the show or know anything about the show or whatever. So you just get very weird audiences sometimes. And of course, it goes out live. There's a different audience at the rehearsal, so it's like nothing can be done. Nothing can be done. So sometimes they just get very strange audiences in. The radar was too close to the runway, says that Kurtz. We managed
I know,
to
is it quite weird that's therapeutic watching it out of the window?
Oh, it's better, isn't it? It's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's because you have that kind of illusion, because everything's so far away, you just get this illusion that you're moving very, very slowly. Which I think helps. It's quite a sort of chilled, kind of relaxing view, rather than what you're actually doing, which I think we can find out how fast we're going.
I mean, we don't really need to check. We can just look at that lady that was sat next to us. See how much
think
she's
just
freaking out.
Slipped into catatonia now. Desperately
Clearly been
staring
around with the wine.
Reading and rereading those credits.
Checking that seatbelt is definitely on.
Gosh, yeah, I've not done
No,
my-
don't get the phone out. Don't
No.
get the phone out.
I've not done my seatbelt up.
Me not.
I found recently I can adjust. There we go. I can adjust the chair. I didn't realise that.
That's pretty cool.
I got an achievement in this not from the air company for not adjusting my chair throughout an entire flight.
Oh, okay.
Which was good. So I guess you joined the league at quite a fairly turbulent time. Was it?
It was a bit of an interesting one. So the game was gifted to me by a viewer, and I put it up for community vote, and I played it for the one day, and then I just couldn't put it down. I didn't really know much about Elite Dangerous when I walked into it. It was a completely fresh playthrough. I'd never experienced the game. I'd never watched anyone play the game before. So it was all very, very new, and a lot of learning was required that day. But I can't put it down now. I really love that game. It's amazing.
Do you think you can sort of isolate what the is there like a singular draw to it, or is it just?
And I think the fact that it's so varied. So for me, I like a game that can capture my imagination and allow me to, I'm going to use the word, immerse myself into the experience. So, and I can just log on one day and go, well, actually, this is what I want to do today. I'm going to go and do some mining, or I'm going to go and do some missions, or I want to go and shoot people on the ground or shoot ships. And there's so much variation in it, yet it still gives really good structure in the way that, you know, the missions you complete contribute to the political stuff that's happening within the systems, or
Yeah,
supporting your squadron that you're in,
yeah,
or there's always an end goal. Whereas with No Man's Sky, I always found it to be really quite too sandboxy, that it doesn't give you, once you've completed the main mission line, there's not really anything that follows on from that other than the grinding for missions from the Nexus and stuff like that. And I was just getting a little bit bored of it, really.
yeah.
Whereas Elite Dangerous has managed to captivate me completely.
Yeah, it's an odd sort of thing where because we started playing it basically just from beta, not streaming, but just from playing, and
Yeah.
it's I kind of have to remind myself of what it was like at that point, because so much stuff has been added over the years, and it's just this huge thing now, and so I think you were saying when we were on the wrong plane that you'd what was it? No, it's gone. You said, forgive me. Yeah, that you well, you talked a little bit about the learning cliff,
Yeah.
and I think it's I think that I've sort of been lucky in that the learning cliff I had was a much smaller learning cliff, and then I've had little sort of bumps along the way as they've rolled out new stuff. But to come in at was it pre-Odyssey or Odyssey?
No, I came in Odyssey.
Yeah. So that's just like just absolutely sort of colossal undertaking, really.
So I'm literally 430 hours in the game now.
Yeah.
That's what I have in it so far. So Odyssey was live and had sorted out the initial issues that it was having when it was first launched. So it was really good, and I think really the main reason I've learned so much about the game has been down to the community, really, and my interactions with EvDev and stuff like that. The community's just been incredible, and there's so much knowledge floating around in it.
Absolutely, very very quick to sort of help each other out. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
definitely.
Just the fact that, well, firstly, you had sort of the fuel rats and the hull seal, you know, and these sort of things. The game wasn't really designed for that, but it was. It allowed for it, and then suddenly you have this huge sort of team of people who are basically, you know, sort of deep RPing in a way that doesn't sort of directly tie in with the background sim. But it's just like, oh, this is a service that we can provide to other players, so let's do it.
The first time I played the game, the first day, within a few hours, I got to the point that I ran out of fuel, and I didn't have a fuel scoop on my ship. I didn't know about the fuel rats, so I ended up actually self-destructing my ship.
Yeah.
Which luckily I've not had to do since then. But yeah, I've got a couple of fuel vats actually in my community. So
Handy people to keep close.
yes, keep them very close. But no, I've not had to use them yet. Thank goodness. It's come close a couple of times though when I've been on adventures.
I've had one cause to contact them, and it was like, it's embarrassing enough to have run out of fuel as you know, a seasoned spacer as myself. But the further embarrassment was the fact that I said which system I was at, and then there was a sort of a pause while they went off and had a look, and then they came back and said, "You do know there's another star in that system, right? And you do know that you can you can scoop that one." Is that, oh, okay. Which, you know,
Yeah.
problem solved really, but yeah.
But until you know, you don't really look for these things. Like, I've got one system that I regularly jump through now that has, when I jump in, it's at an unscoopable star that I cannot boost from. And I have to do the next jump, I have to do a neutron boost. So I end up going over to the other star. Sorry, it's a white dwarf, and then boosting from there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't known to have looked until I opened the system map and learned from it.
Yeah, it's like the high waking and the mass thing. which I keep forgetting because I learned
Yeah.
that so late in the day that I keep forgetting. Actually, if you high wake, then you have less mass disruption and it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, just all those little sort of niggly little. I was watching 2020 Hindsight. He's an American streamer. For us Brits, he's on early in the morning. I say
Yes.
early, but yeah.
He's good people.
He's lovely people, and he was sort of discussing the way that the boxes that appear around the bits on a blasted asteroid, or I think any asteroid, if they're broken, then if the box is broken, so if the corners don't sort of connect, then it's something on your ignore list. But if it connects, then it's something that you have not put on your ignore list, or the other way around, because I don't want to be too helpful. Yeah, it's just kind of like what that detail's in there. Crazy.
I've only experienced deep core mining once when live on stream, I just decided, do you know what, guys? We're going to go mining because everyone was asking me if I'd done it or not.
Yeah.
So, and they were like, what mining are you going to do? Laser, deep core? And I was like, no, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to, go full into it. So, built a deep core mining killback called the Crusty Sock.
Excellent. Perfect.
And took her out for her first spin, and yeah, it was pretty good fun actually. I haven't been mining since though. I kind of think I really do need to do it. I think I need to do it to unlock a couple of engineers, so I should probably do that.
Yeah. I tend not to. We've mined on stream a couple of times. I tend to mine on my own time, but in VR, which is just an extraordinary. It's an odd sort of thing when you think of VR. I mean, VR, like the CQC say, is astonishing and everything. But you think, what's the point of doing mining in VR? It's so tranquil. It's really just, it's very, and just the kind of the immediacy of the head look and everything. It's wonderful. But yeah, that's how I like to do my mining these days with the iBox on.
I can't play VR. I suffer with hemiplegic migraines, so
Ouch.
VR's not cool for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So at the moment I play mouse and keyboard on my PC, Athena, but I have got Hot Ass, so I'll be getting that sorted out in the next week or so.
Fantastic. Yeah. I went straight onto Hot Ass, and I kind of in a way I sort of regret it that I feel like if I had a little bit of mouse and keyboard behind me, then I think some of the stuff. I'd have a better frame of reference, I guess, to the flight.
Yeah. I think still for the Odyssey side of it, I'll still be using mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Mouse and keyboard for ground combat is certainly a lot better than trying to use a stick and a thruster, really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we
But
switched.
for flying and ship combat is definitely something that's going to need to be hot-assed up. It's very interesting trying to negotiate ship combat using a mouse and keyboard. Like you're constantly lifting the mouse up off the mouse mat and
Yeah.
moving around and things. So
Yeah. But it was sort of, I mean, for a while it was like, oh, if you're gonna do PvP, you need to learn FA off, and if you're gonna do FA off, then you need to play mouse and keyboard, which isn't entirely true. But that was sort of the conventional wisdom for quite a while.
I've been told a lot of the best PvPers actually use FA off and mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. So
I can't see how they do it.
Harry Potter, not to be confused with the boy wizard of the same name. He was sort of the scourge of the game with his PvPing and whatnot. But yeah, he was all mouse and key. Definitely.
But every game I've played has always been mouse and keyboard, so
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
I've got a Steam Deck, so I keep meaning to spend a decent amount of time with Elite on that, just to sort of get a better grounding with the essentially the console controls.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other world as well.
I'm thinking about getting the Stream Deck foot paddles to kind of integrate those into the game. That would be quite cool.
Oh yeah. We do throttle on pedals, and it's
Yeah.
mainly because we have to, but Yeah. Just play one-handed.
So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, usually as a unicorn, I'm flown around space, like chauffeured, but can't get the staff nowadays, so I've had to
No.
start doing it myself, unfortunately.
Do you know Bud Stallion?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you might know Bud Stallion, but that's fine. That's fine.
Sounds like a very interesting name, though.
I was going to angle for an introduction, but Bud Stallion is a unicorn, a live unicorn made entirely of diamonds.
Oh, really? I need
Exists
this.
Exists in the Borderlands universe. It's featured in, I think, two and a bit games. But yeah, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. So, do you have a sort of not an end goal, but a kind of a major goal with Elite?
I mean, I think for me it was more my channel and my community. So when I first started streaming, I'd just come out of the separation with my ex-husband, and I have a 3-year-old daughter. So a few of you already know this, but it was a bit of an interesting time. But I was being held back from doing the things that I wanted to do by him. So streaming in essence was one of those things that I'd always wanted to do, but also to make people aware from a mental health perspective that they weren't on their own, that there was always going to be somebody there to talk to, which is why I'm always readily available on my Discord for people to come into my DMs. We have a wellness clinic chat. But streaming was really my way of reaching out to those people that had felt isolated in similar situations. The fact that my channel has evolved into Elite Dangerous is amazing. My partner application is unlocked. It's there. It's ready to go. Just the curse of the average viewing numbers to try and get partner, because that is what I want to be doing. I want to be streaming full time.
Yeah.
I want to show my little girl she can literally do anything that she can put her mind to as she gets older. So really, initially it was all about mental health and well-being. That's how I started it, and showing how playing computer games can actually help support mental health and well-being than do what people of certain generations say, destroying the youth or whatever. They should get outside and play and stuff like that. So for me it was something a bit deeper than that, but it has just evolved and taken off. I never thought I'd get beyond 100 followers, let alone staring 3K in the at the end of the tunnel. I've just got over 2.9k followers now, which is insane.
It's that thing, isn't it? Is you search something you need and you can't find it, so you create it, and that's it's such a that seems like the key to so many sort of success stories. It's like, well, this is something I thought should exist, but it didn't, and I wasn't going to wait around for somebody else to do it.
No, because I think if I waited, I don't actually think I would be here, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have occurred. So I've always made it very clear that my channel and my Discord is a really safe environment for anybody from anywhere, really. Unless you fight for the feds in ED, then we might need to have some words, but
Feds come.
But I do enjoy it.
I've never sort of really had a specific allegiance in game. It's terrible because I feel like I like bits of I love the sort of imperial aesthetic, but I'm quite down on slavery, even indentured slavery, and that's something that bleeds out of the game and into my real life views. So so it's and it's always a bit, and I kind of like the idea of the I guess of the feds, the ideology of it.
But with Elite Dangerous, golden thing is to learn as much about that game as possible.
Yeah.
I do. I want to get more into it. I think the only thing I haven't touched on or dipped my toe into has been Thargoid combat, which is something that a lot of ED streamers are doing a lot of at the moment. And the ones that are doing it are far more experienced in the game than I am, and I just feel that if I was to go into it when I didn't feel entirely ready, I think it would just ruin the game for me.
Yeah.
So we're going slowly catching monkey, unlocking engineers, building ships, doing some BGS stuff, ground combat, and learning as much about the game in my own sort of way,
Yeah.
as opposed to following that sort of direction. But I do want to learn as much about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I've sort of I've been sort of, I guess, frustrated by this. Not frustrated by the story, but I've been kind of like waiting for the story to sort of emerge in the game for quite a while. And I feel like with the Thargoid storyline, it's finally arrived, as it were.
Yeah.
As have they. But
I remember the sneak preview that we got, and I can talk about it now because the NDA
yes.
for
Yeah.
that part isn't a thing now. But the sneak preview of that, like, oh my good lord, I was watching it and I was like, I've only just learned what an engineer is in this game,
Yeah.
and now they're blowing up space stations.
Yeah. That's it.
It was a bit of a shock.
Plankton just said, but you're fine with egg and ketchup on scones, Jack. Nothing the Empire do compares to that. Yeah, we did a poll.
Egg and ketchup on scones.
We did a silly poll on Twitter, which was, how do you let's solve this once and for all. How do you do your scones? But the options were egg
With
then
cream and jam.
egg then ketchup, or ketchup then egg. And it seems to have rankled Plankton a little bit. He's upset. He's upset with the thought of egg and ketchup on a scone.
I think my brain is imploding, actually, at the thought.
Yeah. What it was Paul Hollywood, who I understand is some sort of TV cook.
He's a bread guy.
Yeah,
He's a bread guy.
he posted like a picture of a scone, and Dawn French had commented, because Dawn French very much of the Cornish persuasion, I believe, and the Cornish way is jam then cream, and I think
It is,
Everybody,
yeah.
this is your captain speaking.
cream then jam.
We've hit our cruising altitude of 32,000
Some
feet.
sort of umbrage being
Welcome to the
exchanged
flight.
between Dawn and Paul.
Hopefully we'll continue to have smooth weather all
On
the
that
way to the
front. But
destination.
the photo that Paul
They're very serious about
I'll
their
be back
scones.
in touch
the
if we've
photo
got
that
any
Paul
other
Hollywood
updates for you
used,
en route.
it kind of looked like an egg and it kind of looked like ketchup. So I just went with it.
Oh no.
I just went with it, and it's upset Plankton terribly, despite
Ladies
the
and
fact that I
gentlemen, the captain has turned off the
got
fasten
an AI
seatbelt sign,
to
indicating
draw
we've
up
reached our cruising
some
altitude.
pretend
You are now
photos
free to move about the
of
cabin,
what an
but we
egg
ask
and
that while
ketchup
in your
scone
seat,
might
you
look
keep
like.
your seatbelt
So I thought, well,
fastened.
they
At
look
this
quite
time,
nice.
the use of all
They look
approved
quite
portable
nice.
electronic
So
devices
I sent those
is
to
permitted.
Plankton, and that just seemed to make him worse, if anything.
I think if anybody sent me that, I would be offended. I eat my scones the Cornish way.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
just to clarify, if anybody's interested in how I eat my scones.
It's odd. It's odd. It's sort of. I mean, it's not odd that you like your scones like that. It's odd that it's become a sort of we have these little debates, and I find it really quite fascinating. Part of human nature that we have to have these disputes over as trivial a thing as possible, and treat it as seriously as possible. So we have, the pineapple on pizza and the right way to do scones and all of that, and it's sort of like doesn't really
Scone or cream horn?
doesn't
Scone.
really matter.
Definitely a scone. But
Yeah.
there are other sort of bones of contention you can throw out there, like a bread roll. Is it a bap or a barm?
It's
Or a bread roll? What
I
is it?
tend to find myself in the BAP camp.
You're in the bap camp.
Yeah, pretty much. Occasionally cob, but I feel like a cob and a BAP are slightly different things.
So where I'm from originally, so I've been in Manchester for probably about 15 years now. Where I'm from originally, it's a bread roll. You would call it a bread roll.
Yeah.
But then when I moved to Manchester, it was known as a barm cake.
Yeah.
Or and I remember going into a chippy for the first time and asking for a bread roll and chips, and they just looked at me like I was an alien,
Yeah.
like I'd literally just come out of space.
And the thing I have about that is they knew full well what a bloody bread roll was. Come on.
Look, so your chat's already going now. So we've got Batch, Roll, Cobb.
Yeah.
Hi, Taran.
There's a lot of choices. There's one. I think I can say this. It's this is almost something else really, but it's a potato. What was it? A potato. What do you call it when you batter something?
Oh, potato cake. Is that was no a scallop? Is that what it's called?
It's
In a
well,
jiffy.
this is in the West Midlands. It's called a fairy. So
Oh, okay.
You may be sent to a fish and chip shop to get a battered sausage and a couple of fairies, and and that's what it means. Is this fritter?
Yeah.
I think fritter is the word. Potato fritter, I think. And blimey. Oh no, it's just a scam.
Okay, to have a
Ignore
bot in
that,
your chat.
Ignore that. Kill the bot. Right. Throw him out
The bots must die.
Throw him out the emergency door.
Yes, please.
Do you think you'd cope with sitting next to the emergency door on a flight?
No.
I'm not a fan of the idea, partly because I think it would be socially awkward. It's not so much, this is a huge responsibility in case we land on the sea. It's more like, oh God, no, because I'm not necessarily going to be immediately aware of how the door opens, and then it's going to be, and then it's too much stress. It's too much stress. Not the actual responsibility, just the level of interaction that I'd have to have with strangers over it. It's a bit much. It's a bit much.
I think it would fill me with anxiety.
Yeah.
Just thinking, just the looks of the other people that would be giving you, that were trying to work out what side of mischief you were on by being sat next to that door.
Yeah. It's this is a bit of a personal question, so don't feel you have to answer this. But
Golly.
Do you ever get intrusive thoughts?
Intrusive thoughts,
Yeah.
such as
So-
what? Just
An intrusive thought is basically you'd be just like doing something, and then you just have this weird little dark thought, like wouldn't it be interesting if I did this? And it can be something like you might be using a knife in the kitchen, and you think, wouldn't it be interesting to just go into the next room and stab somebody? And you don't.
I am
obviously.
a single parent of a 3-year-old child.
Yeah. Oh, so have you swung so far the other way, or you're just thinking, no, I think that all the time? I'm trying to.
There's been thoughts.
Yeah. Okay.
No action, but
yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, but I get them, and it's really horrible. It's like ghastly sort of. And there are some that I can't even talk about. I could talk about with close friends, but it's just like, because it's not a thing of you. It's not anything to do with you. It's like the thoughts happen to you. They come from outside
Yes.
of you, and it's just like the little sort of the devil on the shoulder sort of thing. Very odd. I've had to step away from the edge of underground platforms because it's been everywhere. I can't remember why I brought this up, but it's an interesting subject, isn't it?
You did ask me about it.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm a bit incoherent tonight. I do apologise.
No, don't worry. You've obviously had a rough day, and that's absolutely all right.
It's been odd. But we're up in a plane. We've got weird tasting food, drink to have. I think.
Flying over. I've bought some munchies with me. I've bought some.
Excellent.
We've got some classic Wotsits going on here.
Nice, I do.
We like some Wotsits.
I'm partial to a Wotsit.
And I've got my sparkling water, so I'm
Nice.
I'm hydrated. I've got some chocolates. I don't feel much like eating at the moment though, because my puppy is incredibly flatulent.
Oh,
so
yeah, it does put one off. Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about putting things in my mouth right now, but
Just be glad you didn't opt for the Twiglets. That's all I can say to that.
oh no, no.
M. Kurt is a big lover of the Twiglets.
I like Twiglets, but I don't like Marmite.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I pretty much fall into that camp. I can go a Twiglet.
Yeah.
I don't really love them.
I don't mind
can go
Twiglets.
with
I can
them.
have.
Yeah.
I can eat them. Yeah. If I fancy them, I have to be like in the proper mood for something salty. I'll have a Twiglet.
When I was younger, I couldn't really deal with them because if I smiled, which I was wont to do as a child, it would make my cheeks hurt. And again, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah. In fact, that might be why I don't like Marmite. Jean Bello, I like Marmite, but not Twiglets. This is a deep well we're drawing from. Every time I think Twiglets, I think of that Mr. Bean
I'm
Christmas
so
sketch.
sorry.
No, you.
I had to blow my nose. I didn't want to do that in your ears.
That's fine.
So-
That's fine. Willow. Twiglets and peanut butter.
Oh. Twiglets and peanut butter. No, Fluffy. Get the fuck
I
out.
think that could work. I think that
And
could
take
work.
your peanut butter and Twiglets with you.
I think that could work. Where do you stand on this? Is a firm favourite with a little massive. But where do you stand on an egg on a pizza?
Good with egg on a pizza. I used to be, before I do what I do now outside of streaming, I used to be a chef. And one of the places I was a launching chef at was a pizza restaurant in Manchester. And one of the pizzas was a Florentina,
Love it.
which was a pizza with spinach and an egg in the middle.
Yeah. It's
With an egg I can dip things into, Fluffy. I don't really do scrambled egg.
yeah. You need a
No.
bit of fun. You need a bit of fun in an egg.
Yeah, I prefer poached eggs, though, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Do you when you poach an egg? Are you team vinegar or team gentle whirlpool?
I'm team vinegar and whirlpool. I do a hybrid.
Interesting.
I know, it's naughty. Yes, but I have
it's-
just got an air fryer, and people have been poaching eggs in air fryers lately. So I'm going to give that a whirl
That fascinates me.
this weekend.
I don't.
It should be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I suppose you poach them in microwaves, don't you? You get those little sort of silicone pouches.
Yeah, that thing that looks like little boob cups.
Yes. Yeah. Or the thing that. No. So somebody was posting about their menstrual cup earlier today, and it was like, oh, it was what it was. It was the comedian and doctor Nadia Camille.
Yeah. Oh no.
Wonderful performer, but she her boyfriend was amazed because she'd opened the case
Oh god.
of the cup, and he said, "Oh, that's the case. I thought that was the actual thing."
Oh.
And the case
no.
is the case is huge. The case is huge.
Exactly, Fox. Me and your wife, we know. We know these things.
I was taught how to poach eggs by my chef wife, and she says vinegar and whirlpool. I did eggs Benedict for the boif once, just once. I'm very good at doing things just once.
Just once.
yeah.
Were they good?
I think so. I mean, it's for him to say really, but I mean, we both hadn't had it, and I enjoyed it. So, but yeah, I just went full whirlpool on that one. And it's one of those things where it's like, I'm quite sure that there are skills that are very badly taught, and I think that possibly
Yes.
the whirlpool method is one of those things, because the thing that makes it work is that you have to do a gentle whirlpool, and I think what people
Gentle.
tend to do is try and do something that would drown an Argonaut, and naturally enough the egg just straights off into the side, and you never see it in that form again. Entropy quickens, all of that. But yeah, slow.
Poor
slow.
plankton.
I'm saying
You had some issues with some scrambled eggs.
Oh, I did not explode scrambled eggs in the microwave the other day. It did not happen. No, nobody said it did.
No.
The fact that you bring
Nobody
it
saw
up.
anything. They didn't clip it. It's fine.
Yeah. The fact that you even bring it up. I've never got the whirlpool to work. Next time you're around my place, Emkins, we're gonna poach some eggs. Yeah. Might even get some vinegar in.
You should try it. Have you tried the vinegar and whirlpool method?
Never.
Well, you should try it.
I will.
You should try it. You should have a poached egg off.
Oh, we could. And curtains. When I do I'm going over to Millstone Barns at some point this year, so that he can show me the ropes with his tarts. And M curtains, if you can come along, we could maybe double barrel it with the egg poaching. That would be a thing. Poached eggs and lemon tarts.
I mean, that sounds like a winning combination.
Fluffy puppy made quite a valid point there. Yes, always learn
Always
around
learn around someone else's
yeah,
place.
Definitely. Don't try this at home, kids. Go to your mate's
No.
house.
No, don't do it.
It's a tricky second egg in the vinegar whirlpool. I enjoyed it. Caramba. Caramba, are you in a house yet? I think. By the way, if there's anybody who wants to join a house, a chat house, you just have to type in !house into chat, and it'll all happen. It will all happen by magic. So Caramba's going in for the one there. Gubby. Oh, that's good.
golly.
'Cause Gubby's quite under. Now, Gubby. Basically, there's a member of the original Bucks Fizz lineup called Bobby G.
And Gubby as well.
Yes. Excellent. Yeah, Gubby
Dan,
very.
don't think about toasters.
Guppy very much. But yes, Bobby G, and I thought, well, his name can't be G. Nobody's surname is just the letter G. So I did a bit of deep digging. I've looked up on Wikipedia, and yes, his actual surname is Guppy. And I sort of read that and thought, oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, G. Yeah. But then it was like, well, do we have a house called G, or do we have a house called Guppy? Guppy's getting all the love tonight. We had a slight problem when we started this, which was that everybody ended up in Baker. We had about 6 or 7 bakers. So
golly.
we've had a little word with RN Jesus, and yeah, that shouldn't happen anymore. Yeah, RN Jesus does the random numbers. You know RN Jesus.
Yeah, I'm a streamer
Yeah.
who plays computer games.
Defo.
There's a lot of that.
Defo.
My other half calls it streamer luck.
Yeah.
Even when I'm off stream,
I
there are things that happen that shouldn't actually occur.
Yeah. We have this thing. It's not happening so much because I think just because the numbers came, where because we do mystery voice on the channel as well. So if you type in !mystery voice, you get an audio clip, and people
Okay.
guess who it is. And it's sort of resting at the moment, but we have !voice. So once the clip has been guessed, it goes over to this other command, and it sort of plays one out at random. And
Okay.
the number of times where it's been the one that I've because it's the sort of game that we play really, where we kind of lead into a voice clip, a specific one. So I think we've got a voice clip of Mark Hamill doing an impression of Harrison Ford, and you type in !voice, and lo, you get Mark Hamill doing an impersonation of Harrison Ford, which used to happen a lot, and it's happening less now. So you get Julia Louis-Dreyfus going, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, so that was a genuine mystery voice that we had there. Julia Louis-Dreyfus saying, "I'm Julia Louis-Dreyfus," because you got to have fun with it.
No, definitely. We do.
So what have you been up to lately in game?
So in game, there's been a bit of a combination between I've taken a humanitarian stance in the Thargoid War for the main reason that I kind of understand why they want to watch us burn.
Totally, yeah.
we have tried to and unsuccessfully wipe them out in genocide
Yeah.
twice. So I can kind of get why they're pretty fucked off.
Definitely.
So I've just been doing the rescuing and the picking up of the bodies, and occasionally things have swayed in the Thargoid's favour, and I've ended up contributing to the deaths.
To that pile. Yeah.
Don't be fooled by the fact that I'm partnered with Frontier Developments. I am not a good Elite Dangerous player.
You don't get special treatment either. The Thargoids
No,
are like, not
no.
this one, not this one, not that,
No,
not that,
the-
partner.
They hate me just as much as the next person, maybe even a little bit more, because I've never tried to kill a Thargoid. My first experience with a Thargoid was I went out to Maya with one of my moderators who was meant to protect me, but because of the instancing issues.
In a few moments, flight attendants will be coming around the cabin with our in-flight service.
What's the
We will
really,
be
really
serving a
big
snack along with a
Thargoid that
variety
likes
of
to come
complimentary
and
soft
just
drinks, juices, and
ultimately
coffee.
fuck
Beer,
everything
wine, and
up?
other alcoholic
Hydra, I would
beverages
say
are available
Hydra.
for purchase.
I
Now
think
we
it was a
invite you to sit
Hydra that
back,
came in
relax,
and just
enjoy the
absolutely
flight.
hammered me. But yes, I've been taking a more humanitarian approach. I've been unlocking engineers and learning a lot more about engineering in the game. I've also been going. Can I say slightly expletive terms?
Oh,
Am I
God,
allowed to
yeah.
do that?
Yeah,
Am
yeah,
I okay to do
yeah.
it? Right, okay. So I've been going balls to the wall with ground combat at the moment. I've got a new slot which started on a Friday, which starts on Friday nights now, and that is Fight Club Friday, where we wing up with people within the community and we go and just shoot the hell out of everything in the ground. So ground combat's really, really fun, and I also think it's quite an understated aspect of the game. It's underplayed as far as I'm concerned. I feel that even people that have been playing this game for such a long period of time haven't actually done much when it comes to ground conflict zones and stuff like that. I kind of really enjoy showing it. I've been running around like a mad woman with a rocket launcher the last couple of days, which have been pretty entertaining. And
It's not even that
yeah,
it's
just
sort of-
learning about it,
It's not
really.
even that it's kind of ability walled, really, because
Yeah,
I've not done a huge amount of it, but I've got decent builds, a decent combat build. You know, not amazing,
Yeah.
but it's certainly good enough to hold my own in a medium. And yeah, I think one of the things, and I'm surprised they haven't done this, is that they've, and I do wonder if this is coming actually, is that they've kind of, I don't feel like you're encouraged into PvP with it, but PvP is for FPS is a sort of bread and butter thing, really. So I'm quite surprised that
yeah.
that they haven't kind of essentially done a C. I can sort of see why, but why they haven't done a kind of a CQC for the on foot stuff.
I think the main reason they've done that is that because there are still a lot of players that are still playing on Horizons without Odyssey, but also bringing in more community-focused goals around PvP and ground combat will not only isolate those players, but also put people in a position where they feel like they're being forced into PvP.
Yeah.
I'm not a PvP
Oh, yeah,
here by
yeah.
any shape, means, or form. I've experienced the very toxic side of PvP from my World of Warcraft experiences. Being a gnome priest immediately means you're just going to get absolutely shredded. So bringing that into this game, there's a lot of pros and cons with PvP.
Yeah.
PvP means you get more interaction with other people, but it means you're also letting that toxicity into the game. So
yeah, that's true. That is true.
I'd like them to keep it out. If I want to do PvP, I'll play in open. And I don't. I play in a private group, and I kind of hide away. And community members are part of that group. The strict rule: no PvP and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And that's worked so far. So
Second rule, a huge rule. That's the second rule is the first rule, really, isn't it?
yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing at the moment in Elite Dangerous. Going forward, obviously with me being partnered up with Frontier Developments, which is a new thing that they've not done before, which humbled me and amazed me that I was asked, and even some of the people that have been playing the game a lot longer that are partnered as well were just like, we're not expecting to see my name on there, because I am very clearly I'm an 18 plus streamer in my channel. It can get pretty
Yeah.
spicy in that. And with the game being 13 plus, it's kind of PG-13. There's a little bit of a crossover going on there. But they seem to value my content. They raided me. We've had really great interactions on Twitter. So, and I think that's where they kind of first became aware of me. People within the community have pushed me forward as well. So it's been really amazing how much I've been welcomed into this game and the community, as well as the developers. Going forward, I mean, where can you go with this, with the partnership program? There's so many options, so many different things that they can do. I mean, obviously not just sending out the goodies, but the fact that we get sneak peeks and get to experience some of the other games under Frontier Development's sort of umbrella, and Frontier Foundry. There's loads of different things coming up on the cards in the future. So I'm quite excited.
I think the way I see it is, you've got, if you like, the coding developers, and then you've got the community managers. The community manager's job is to essentially liaise between the player base and the devs. And I kind of see the partners as a sort of like another layer to that cake of it, sort of, because in order to build up a community, you have to learn from that community, and you have access to a lot of different sort of viewpoints and opinions from your community, and that kind of you sort of open up these channels that I think people are better at sharing their opinions of the game with people who aren't working for the company, and I
No, definitely.
and I think the problem with, and we saw it today to some extent, not naming any specific names or issues, but you get people in chat for the Frontier streams, and it's like they've got their hobby horse, and it's just that constantly. It's like, when are you doing this? When are you doing this? When are you doing this? Until Osric 42 kicks them to the curb.
Yeah, there's where, I mean, I don't think I would have learned half as much as I have done without the community, really, when it comes to Elite Dangerous. But also the way that people that come into those streams, the Frontier Development stream and the Elite Dangerous stream every second Thursday, is that it's not a place for begging for things to be brought back, or to change things, or to discuss bugs, unless they're hugely throughout the game and things like that. It's a forum in which like-minded individuals can communicate with the people who are heading this game and sort of discuss where it's going next, things within the community that have happened. And really, so far, my experience with other gaming developers is that this is the only one that actually has that forum. It's pretty incredible, really. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
And it's that sort of I feel like it's an absolute necessity. If you're anywhere near sort of gamer service territory, then it's an absolute necessity, and it is odd that sort of different. I guess different companies have different takes on it, and different levels of that kind of engagement.
I think a gaming platform, like a game itself, is only as strong as the community and the people that are playing it. They're responsible for the success of that game going forward. So I think it's really, really important to have those bridges there between the developers and the community. I've been in those streams myself, and it can get pretty intense with the requests of people and things like that. I love the way that they handle it, and like people like Sally and Holly, they're incredible people. They're just not waved by it at all. They'll just quite happily just glide through it, and I just think it's pretty amazing, to be honest with you. You have another bot. It's like you're a little magnet for one of them.
Curtains is 360 no scoping them as we speak. Sally's just astonishing, really. the sort of the patience.
Lovely. Did you see the new Sally hair today?
I did.
She had new Sally hair.
So much of
Yes.
it. There was so
Oh
much
my
of it.
goodness. Absolutely stunning.
Phenom.
And
It's phenom.
yeah. And I think that's another thing as well that people need to realize, especially in today's day and age. We need to be building each other up.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
need to be tearing them down, whether it's people that we have little interaction with or people that we have a huge amount with. It is important to build people up. It's anything you say can be taken personally by anybody,
Yeah.
and it's important to try and make that positive
I think
because then
I think
it'll
generally,
be paid forward.
generally speaking as well, within a community around a single game, and this is obviously exclusively true, but generally speaking, if you build up an elite streamer, say, then you're promoting the game, and then more people will play the game, and then the game will essentially
Clear.
have more resources to make the game as the best game that it can be, and or basically all our boats rise together. That's generally how this
Yeah.
how this will work.
I am so looking forward for the future of Elite Dangerous. I'm telling you, if they bring base building into this game, I'm literally gonna blow my load. I cannot wait. I will be so excited. I will never be off it. Between momming, working, looking after the puppy, and streaming, I will not be off it.
Yeah. I think that's what's wonderful
can't
about
wait for
having a life-size galaxy, is that
Yeah.
it's sort of No Man's Sky has I guess kind of shown how you can a way of handling instancing and whatnot with that. But
No Man's Sky on paper is a larger. Is obviously significantly larger than Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
Elite Dangerous is far more realistic. Let's not get started on multiplayer in No Man's Sky. I'm a permadeath player.
God. Okay.
Bugs
it-
are rife.
I think if I was a permadeath player, I'd be a permadead player. But yeah.
Yeah, no. But I think going forward, there's some amazing space games coming out, and I think it's really important that people that play certain games within the community not to get fixated on those games, but to open their minds and their urges to experience these different games. So, for example, there's Starfield coming up. There's Deliverers Mars, so that's going to be coming up
Yeah,
soon
very
as
keen
well.
on
I am so excited about Deliverers Mars, and then Starfield as well. So Bethesda are pretty renowned for really strong storylines in their games. So I cannot wait. Let's not talk about Star Citizen Wildcard. Okay, I'm talking about games that are going to be finished on release,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. No, let's not talk about it.
I'm-
Nobody wants to hear my opinion on SC.
I've spent more.
Let's not do that.
I know a lot of people get a lot of fun out of Star Citizen. I have, and I say this often. I have spent more time downloading Star Citizen than playing Star Citizen, and I've made a conscious decision a little while ago, which I've not made public. So I'm going to make it. This is a Jams
Oh,
Off on a
okay. Here we
Plane,
go. Big announcement.
with exclusive. Is that I'm basically not gonna go anywhere near it again till the single player game's finished.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a reasonable bar.
I've played a couple of the, like the free to play events, but there's so many things in that game that I just cannot get my fucking head around.
Yeah.
So one is the extortionate amount of money that you're required to put in to buy a ship to start it off, which okay, it's fine. But then there's the other side of it is the hard wipes. So even when you finally get into the game and you build everything up and you get the ships that you want, but you buy with in-game currency, it's all just gone.
Yeah.
I
Start all
don't, I
over.
cannot. I know. I just think the people that play it are masochists. I don't,
Yeah. Some of them very wealthy
why
masochists.
would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? And the game as itself is beautiful. It really, really is.
Yeah,
But
totally.
morally, you kind of feel like, where has all that money gone? And also, when they run out of money, they release a new ship so they can line their pockets a little bit more.
Yeah.
I
Doesn't feel
find it a
like-
little bit disgusting.
I'm reminded of those sort of. There are absolutely amazing not-for-profits out there, But I think there are not-for-profits as well that only exist because they have a very small staff base that are very, very well paid. And the reason why they are a not-for-profit is so that they can wave the not-for-profit banner around whilst accruing the. And I kind of feel like that's. I feel like if it's not the intent, I think the actuality of Star Citizen's business model is sort of like that. Is that you have a game in perpetual development because the money keeps coming in whilst you fail to finish the game. And
I don't think it'll be finished in my lifetime.
yeah,
I don't think it will be. And if it's finished for my daughters, I would be fucking amazed.
yeah,
But I just don't think it's going. I think it's too much. I don't think developing wise, tech wise, I don't think we're there yet to be able to create that game as to how they want it.
there's a sense that the optimization they're kind of holding off until everybody's got ridiculous PCs. You know that's the measure.
Which is not something that everybody has.
No.
So I've been very, very lucky with my PC, but even then, she's not top spec, top range. She's a 3080 with a 12th gen i9 processor. She's my baby, but she does everything that I need her to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just don't like it. I just don't like anything that SC stands for, really, to be honest with you. So that's probably one game that you're not going to see me play on my channel. But everything else, Space, I played Mass Effect. I'm still like in my first playthrough, partway through Mass Effect 2, the Legendary Edition.
Is it okay to skip the
And
first
there's
Mass
been-
Effect?
I've played the first one. I really enjoyed it. I got it on with the blue girl. I was totally chuffed.
Is that what they call it in her culture?
I can't remember what her name was.
Yeah, but she was blue. So what her one
She was blue?
her one identifying feature that she shares with the rest of her entire race. Yeah.
I know, but the guys will know. The guys in chat, you guys will know who I'm talking about, right? I was playing as She Shepherd. Tell me who what her name is. That's my challenge for you guys before we finish.
Why would you not play? I find it really weird, and when you're given the choice to play with a male protagonist or a female protagonist, I never quite understand the logic of choosing the male protagonist. It's just,
Yet, men who play computer games, and I've seen this an awful lot in WoW, my other half is one of them, will pick a female character to play.
A friend of mine once said, "Well, why would I want to listen? Why would I want to look at a man's bum for the whole time when I could be looking at a woman's bum the whole time?"
I mean, it's a good trail of thought.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I play female characters in computer games. I mean, my main in World of Warcraft at the moment is a tank. So, you know, and she's a big old cow.
Yeah.
So I can understand, like, playing that kind of thing and being a male. That could be interesting. But, yeah, no.
I find it slightly odd with certain, and not certain people who feel somehow like by playing a female character it's somehow emasculating them. So, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's happening to you? But yeah, I think the big one for that was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where the story made so much less sense if you're playing with the male protagonist rather than the female protagonist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's the story of a girl who runs away from home and grows up as this sort of mercenary warrior type, and it just makes so much more sense as a female character. If it was a male character, it's kind of like, it's all a bit much. It's all a bit. It's nothing. It's basically nothing. It was like he's not kicking against anything really as a male.
It would be, yeah, I think so. But in today's day and age as well, so even companies like Blizz in World of Warcraft, they now have body type 1 and body type 2.
Yeah.
So more gender neutral terms and things like that as well.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel that games going forward shouldn't really be defined too much by the gender of the characters that are being created in terms of storyline and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
going forward.
And that's a. I think it's been an odd sort of landscape. I think to see games developers navigate as well, because I think Cyberpunk got into a lot of flack for I think how they describe different voices.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like that, but it was clearly a game that was bending over backwards to make the player character as adaptable and as varied as possible. So it's interesting.
And Elite Dangerous isn't there yet either. There's still very much clearly male and female characters. But I would like to think in the gaming world going forward that things are made more neutral across the board, and then people can pick how feminine they want to be, how masculine they want to be, or however. So I'd be interesting to see that. I think because the relationship with Frontier Developments is so close to the community, I can imagine that a lot of these things have already been discussed are hopefully things that are being considered going forward with the way that they're pushing the game. So we'll just see what happens, but I'm incredibly excited about it all.
Very much, yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit of a minefield trying to kind of go from that stereotypical view to something a little more educated, I guess.
Yes, yeah. I think I feel like the character generation and the characters themselves haven't had a huge amount of love really since the Commander Creator first rolled out, and also since Odyssey. So I think even in Odyssey, I don't feel like the Commander models have had that much of a spruce. And certainly there's nothing. As far as I'm aware, nothing's really being changed in terms of who those characters are. There's no real change to the sliders, as it were.
Yeah. I didn't realise actually up until today that I could actually customise my character still. I thought that once you created the character, that was it for me.
Yeah, you can
And I found out on stream that I could change things.
And you can save slots.
You can save
as well.
profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I changed my hair today in game. Yes. I know. I've gone for a full bob.
Oh,
I look pretty cute. I know. She's looking pretty spicy at the moment. She's looking more like a scientist as opposed to someone who runs around combat zones carrying a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
But yes, at the moment, that's how she's rocking it right now.
How that all
Pretty
fits
cool.
into lore as well, because I think it's something we used to talk about quite a bit, and as a community, and maybe don't talk about it quite as much as we used to. Is what are we? Because you've got all of this sort of holographic projection stuff going on. So the idea is that when you're creating your character, that's not necessarily your character. That's an in-game character who has one presumes a physical self, creating these hologram representations of itself, which are then sort of projected into other people's ships and whatnot. And it's kind of like, who's behind? What is behind that? I've always kind of liked this idea that we're not even in that we're basically going around in our escape pods. That we're just already in our escape pods, but we're sort of plugged into the world through some other means.
Hello? Excuse me.
So almost like a Matrix kind of idea.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I think the flight attendant's trying to get our attention. We've forgotten that we're on a plane, Jack.
Hang on. I was enjoying the conversation too much.
Hello? Excuse me.
Is this food?
I think
They
this
gave
is
up.
Food. I think this is food. This will be
Okay.
a drink and some meal selection. See options.
Oh, okay. What have we got?
Nothing. I think I might have
Oh,
missed
but that's rubbish.
I think I might have missed it. Yes.
Well, I'll sit here with my fucking Watsits then, shall I?
Oh, you enjoy your what's-its.
That's fine. I will enjoy my Watsits. I've got some, like white chocolate. I call them white chocolate Ferrero Rocher, but they're something different. They've got coconut on them. Raffaello. So,
Lovely,
yes.
lovely.
Nom. I know.
M. Curtains again is a big fan of the white chocolate. Yay, white custard creams. That's Fluffy Puppy. Yay, white chocolate.
Custard
first.
creams, yes. White chocolate, I'm in the bin.
I have,
Wait, do you like white chocolate? Do you not like white chocolate? Oh, get it in the bin. Do you not like white chocolate, Fox?
I will
Fox, I
have-
don't think we can be friends.
I'll have Whitish Fox's white chocolate if it's going. I love white chocolate, but within quite narrow parameters. Every time I have, when they bring out like a white chocolate boost or a white chocolate Kit Kat or whatever, I think, oh, that'll be nice. I love white chocolate. And then I have it and it's like, oh, no, this doesn't really work, does it? And the only thing that I've found that's worked is it's basically white chocolate on its own or white chocolate with Rice Krispies. Those are the two.
Ooh, white
But-
chocolate with Rice Krispies.
Yeah, there's
That sounds a bit naughty.
There's a Milky Bar that has Rice Krispies in it.
Oh, Crunch. That's what it's called, isn't
Is
it?
it called? Is it what it's called?
Crunch?
Yeah.
Crunch, it's like a blue and white label. Yes.
But it's, that's the good
Yes.
stuff. That's the good stuff. But yeah, pretty much anything else that's sort of incorporated white chocolate.
Fluffy, no.
Yeah, I have the
Fluffy has
best
an allergy to the cocoa bean.
Oh, even the fat of the cocoa bean. For there is no cocoa bean. It's almost not.
Rib.
It's white chocolate isn't really chocolate. That's a truth bomb. That's a truth bomb.
Let's not talk about it. I don't want to address that.
Really? Are you sure? I know it's controversial.
Yeah, no, don't want to. No, definitely not.
Fine,
I like white
fine,
chocolate.
Fine. I'm not
I
disagreeing.
will forever be white chocolate to me.
I'm just saying it's only chocolate by technicality.
I ate the Milky Bar Kid on stream the other day. It was beautiful.
Really?
I did.
Did you cook him up in like a skillet?
No, the thing is like the mini bars are actually like the little boy with the hat on.
Oh, that's weird.
I know.
Not
Yeah,
sure
so I kind of ate him.
I think Freddo the Frog. I think that's where the rot set in.
Oh, Freddo the Frog. I remember when those were like 10p in this corner shop. I used to go and get them when I was a kid.
There's in all this sort of talk about public sector workers being underpaid and whatnot. There's somebody who basically calculates wages purely by how many Freddos you could buy. Which
That's
is a great way
amazing.
of sort of plugging it straight into inflation. So in like 1989, you were paid X thousand, and it's always a much smaller number. It's always a much smaller number.
I think it's a way in which you can relate to it, though, isn't it? Really, so you
Absolutely,
can
yeah.
actually grasp it. That's quite clever. I like that.
It's like there's somebody who puts forward this idea that you should look at history not in terms of years, because as soon as you get to like 100 years, your brain goes pop and you can't quite. It's kind of loses meaning. But
Yeah.
you should do it in mothers. So something happens X number of mothers ago, and it's a similar sort of trick, I guess. Is it suddenly it's like, oh, that's just like 3 generations or 4 generations of people.
Freddoflation is a legitimate fiscal measure.
My wife
I
used to
love
teach
that.
to show me this, and it's not gone in the right direction. It hasn't, she. It absolutely hasn't. It's a legitimate fiscal measure. Absolutely. Yeah. Measure it in how many Big Macs you can buy.
That's a lot of Big Macs.
It is a lot of Big Macs.
I know. But the guys in the US, you get the best McDonald's menu. Everything is so much bigger there. I would probably eat Mackey's all the time.
See below,
I don't know if it's a good idea.
naughty step. At the moment, we can't take away house points because we probably don't want to. We thought that if we had a system where you could take away house points, then people would just troll bomb houses. So we didn't want that.
Best. Don't do that.
Seem Below's making a very good argument for bringing it in. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to read it out. It's the 80-size Big Macs and the tiny ones from now. Have they got smaller? Have they wagon wheeled them? Terrible.
80 size Big Mac.
Shrinkflation, that's what they call it.
I know. Yeah, everything is smaller now.
There's something else that I've noticed, and I don't think I'm imagining it, is the consistency of shower gel. The worse
consistency of shower
yeah,
gel.
yeah. The worse the economy is doing, the wetter your shower gel. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
they just water it down if things are. the worst I had, and this still riles me up. Still in the air. Tesco's, the supermarket, used to do this sort of mixed nuts bag, and it had macadamia nuts in it, and what was it? I think pistachio nuts. And suddenly you didn't. Yeah, they didn't do them. They didn't have the macadamia nuts in. Now macadamia nuts, that's a top tier nut. Some would say a god
It's a top
tier
tier
nut.
nut.
The macadamia.
I do like a macadamia.
They took the macadamias out, and I think the pistachios out, and they replaced them with. Can you guess what?
Probably cashews or something.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
Bloody, I know, right? Yeah. And I
No.
tweeted saying, why don't you just change the name to Misery Nuts? So I was slightly too pleased.
Misery.
But the other thing is that they didn't change the packaging. Well, they changed the ingredients list. They changed the text, but they didn't change the pictures. Because presumably they just didn't have any. So they still depicted macadamia nuts. They just didn't give you any. And eventually that was sorted out. But not present. They've not come back. They've not come back. We fight for these things. We fight for macadamia nuts.
I know.
But by God, we've
No.
got to defend them, because if we don't, that's it. Lost forever. Lost forever.
Well, top tip on the shower gel. I still use Original Source, and I'm not kidding you. That stuff still foams like a good one.
Yeah.
I like a good foamy shower gel. Yes.
Yeah.
The Original Source ones are pretty
I'll
cool.
have to. I'm gonna.
I'm not sponsored by them, by the way.
I'm a-
Just
I'm
putting it
a-
out there.
I'm a sensitive Nvidia. I nearly said sensitive Nvidia. Don't take Nvidia into the shower. It's not
No,
worth it.
don't do that.
It's not worth it.
No, definitely
You'll
not
make
worth
the
it.
crypto bros cry. Oh well.
As a unicorn, I do need to keep my fur supple, so the Original Source stuff does really work with that. Yes.
Yes. In one word, how would you describe the texture of your fur?
You really want to know? In one word.
That's the right answer.
Very, very soft.
No, it's Smiles. Smiles was the correct answer.
Miles.
Yeah.
Oh, from the song.
From the song. Yeah.
Balls. I play that song every day as
I know,
well.
right? I know. And now I play it every
That's
time
rubbish.
my eyes close. But that's fine. Oh.
My pizza strategy.
Oh. Are we back to eggs?
Okay. We're back. No, we're not talking about no. My favorite pizza, my go-to pizza, okay, is okay. We're gonna go barbecue sauce, stuffed crust,
Okay.
okay, with cheddar cheese mozzarella combo, barbecue chicken, caramelized pineapple, red onion, and sometimes if I'm feeling particularly filthy, I'll put some pepperoni on it.
And is this homebrew or is this Domino's?
Oh, this is Domino's. This is
Domino's.
definitely Domino's. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
But yes, that is. Well, now I have an air fryer. Maybe there'll be homebrew pizza going in there. But no, that is my go-to pizza favorite.
I did homebrew KFC, which wasn't in. It was just successful enough for me to
Good.
to have another shot at it. I think. Yeah.
You didn't kill anyone in the process then.
Not yet. I've not killed anyone yet with my cooking. No.
Well, that's good news.
I put a couple
That's
of
good.
people in hospital, but they were fine. They sort of.
They were weak.
Yeah. They had underlying conditions.
Right,
That was their
okay.
problem.
That's
It
fine,
wasn't
that
my
makes
fault.
perfect sense,
It was
yeah,
the
yeah.
underlying conditions
No.
what done it.
Definitely okay.
Yeah. Greatest pizza topping, right, Tim Kurtz, is blobs of lime
Lime pickle.
Did you discover this by accident, out of curiosity? But yeah, if you
I don't like too much heat though. So I don't like too much spice.
But the thing about egg on pizza is that it's a thing that I do generally for cheap rubbish shop bought pizzas that instantly lifts it. Not a huge amount, but certainly I would say about 1.5 stars of improvement. Is just crack an egg on it before it goes in. I invented it deliberately.
Is your egg runny when you get it out the oven?
Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. I've not got the timing quite down.
Okay.
My fave is avocado and pepper juice. I don't think I've
Avocado
had a
and
pepper
pepper
juice.
juice.
Isn't that the skunk from those cartoons?
No, that's Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, that's Pepe Le Pew. Sorry. I was confused. Good catch.
I mean,
good
I'm sure
catch.
you could put either of them in your mouth, but one's
Yeah.
going to be more pleasant than the other.
I'd imagine so. I was, oh god, people getting a bit upset because his part had been cut, and it was like, well, it's, never mind. It's just, could we stop? It was this, basically he had a scene in a film. I think it was Space Jam 2, and they cut it, and the word got out that they cut it because the characters basically going around. If you're not familiar with Pepe Le Pew, he was a skunk who went around basically sexually assaulting cats that had accidentally had white paint on them. That's his whole deal. And I think they had.
He was trying to woo them. He wasn't
Yeah.
sticking his paws inside them.
There was a lot of unwanted hugging. A lot of resistance to the unwanted hugging.
IOP.
But it was like the scene itself was quite innocuous. It was just like, well, we don't really. I think they were trying to sort of vary the character a little bit, but again, it was sort of. It's like somebody who was at that chat that was lamenting that they one of the girl Eminem isn't as sexy as she used to be, and it's like, what are you admitting to here exactly? You're lamenting the fact that you can't entertain yourself to the thoughts of the red Eminem.
Oh no.
How have we?
I've got flashbacks now.
to the red Eminem.
I know where the red M&M came from. Face Guy was talking about pepper juice, so I know where Pepe Le Pew came from.
Yes, yeah. Oh no, it was just a sort of the knee-jerk anti-woke brigade, and they get on my Nelly. They get on my Nelly a bit. The M&M adverts are messed
The
up.
M&M adverts are messed up. Yeah.
Is that because they're like giant things that the thing that you're supposed to be eating? Because that's always
It's that
a bit
one
weird.
where the guy comes home to find his wife in bed with one of them.
Really?
Yeah. Have you not seen that one?
I've not. No.
She's literally, so there's two of them. One's hiding in the closet doing the whole weird creepy voyeur thing, and the
Yeah.
other one's in the bed with his wife as he walks in the room.
I'm gonna be on YouTube within about a minute of this stream finishing. That's all I'm gonna say. I presume the altitude is inspiring some interesting conversations. Definitely.
I'm behaving myself, OP. I'm behaving.
We-
We're lightheaded. We've not been fed.
My favourite thing in the whole game, in the whole plane, is the little hole in the window. Because you've got to have the little hole in the
I
window.
don't like that.
Do you not?
I know it needs to be there, but I don't. I
Yeah.
don't like the fact that the hole in the window is there while I'm in a plane,
There's
like a
another-
tin can
there's
flying in the air.
There's another bit of window. There's another pane, what I call a pane of window.
Thank you for that reassurance there.
It's fine. There's two of them. It's fine. Yes, the
I've
M&M,
opened up the Watsits.
the M&M affair advert is weird, and the implication that the humans also want to eat the M&Ms. Yeah, my favourite. What we're getting onto the subject of slightly misfired. There's a chewing gum advert where there's a young couple, a young man and a young woman, in the childhood home bedroom, and seemingly in the process of getting it on, and suddenly the parents of the girl return home, and there's this sort of big panic. Young chap, rather than jumping out the window, I think he doesn't even put his top on, but I could be wrong. He just grabs a stick of chewing gum, gives that a bit of a chew. Parents come in through the door, and he sort of basically just introduces himself to them. shakes hands with the dad, and the dad gives him what I would describe as a look.
The look.
I think what they were going for was, I like the cut of this boy's jib. Good on him. Good on him for capturing the affections of my daughter. But a very different message plays out in one's head when one watches it, which is very much. I'll tell you what. Let's ditch the girls. That's as far as into that scenario that I'm willing to get at this stage. But yeah, and they've
Ditch the girls and go and make pizza together?
not pizza, no, but
Wait. Good night, Jean.
yeah. Oh, good night, Jean. So all this talk of Wrigley's gum has sent Jean back. Apologise again for doing it. That's fine, Jean. That's fine. A little blue air never hurt anyone.
Oh, the air's always blue in my streams. It's fine.
I have
No
noticed-
in-flight meal. I know, OP. I'm not being looked after at all. I'm eating Watsits now, though.
Yeah,
I've got Watsits.
yeah.
They bought me a bag of Watsits, so we're good.
I'm amazed that they let us keep them, to be honest.
I know.
Have you ever been to a concert where they take a bottle of water off of you, and then you go through, and then they sell you the exact same bottle of water, not the exact same bottle of water, but same size and brand bottle of water for like about 3 times the amount.
An extortionate amount of money.
Yeah.
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 Because they have a monopoly on it.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's
So-
kind of like, well, why have you taken that off of me? Well, it might be alcohol. It's not alcohol, though, is it? I mean, you know it's not alcohol. It's just water.
It's just water.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now
You know what they
making
say,
our final
at the end of the
approach.
day,
Please take this
sparkling
time
water
to double
is
check your
still water.
seatbelt and ensure it is indeed securely fastened.
It's a good
Flight
joke.
attendants will be passing
It's a
around
good
the
joke.
cabin one final time to make a compliance check and pick up any
gone
remaining
flat.
trash.
I drink sparkling
Thank
water
you.
all the time.
We'll be on the
No.
ground shortly.
Yeah.
And also, sparkling water still qualifies as water. It's a complicated joke. It's basically the entire sentence has 2 completely separate meanings, like at every stage. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. That joke was liked by Emmy Award-winning comedy writer David Quantick. Yeah, so you know. Oh, hello. We've penetrated the cloud base.
Have we? We're
Yeah.
coming into land now.
I think possibly. Oh, it's a bit of turbulence. Yeah, our altitude's dropping.
Oh, that's. I mean, I don't know if that's reassuring or
Oh yeah, no,
not
it's fine.
reassuring.
It's just what
or-
happens when you come into land.
Okay.
But yes, and we're losing NSR2 now as well.
I know.
We're going to be out of
go and get
parachutes
some
by
rest.
this point.
We're landing in New York.
We are. Yes,
How very exciting!
it's very green down there.
It's incredibly green for New York. Is it? I mean, not that I have any experience with this, but I was expecting more
Yeah,
buildings.
more grey. Perhaps a little beige. Should look like a PC game down there. Looks like JFK is where you're landing. It is indeed. Yes, we are coming into JFK. I
Yes.
feel like there's a joke in there that we're not going to do.
No, we are not. No.
Only reassuring when it's intended. Quite right. Quite right. Now the pilot, you won't have. Oh, you've been able to hear the game, have you?
No.
No, this is crazy. This stream, crazy. Right. The pilot that you will not have heard, but I think the people watching at home will have heard, is. Are you familiar with the game Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy?
I've heard the game Getting Over It. Yeah.
Yeah. The full title of that game is Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, and Bennett Foddy is the person who does the voice bits on it, and I think was the developer. I'm not sure, but Bennett Foddy is also the pilot of this plane.
Oh.
He does the voice. He does the voice, which we have not heard because
Right.
it's mysteriously muted. But yeah. Oh. So, I don't think I've ever been to New York before.
No, neither have I. I'm excited about the shopping. I think I
Yes.
mentioned that to you earlier. Can you get up and use the toilet on this plane? It has been a while,
You
and I've been
can.
drinking water.
Oh, I can't remember how though. Hang on. I think you can, but it's a bit disappointing. I think that's my memory of it. We can.
And we'd have to take that nervous flyer out of her seat for us to get there.
That's true. Yeah, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
it's worth a candle really. But,
No.
27 hours in Beirut, 72. I can do numbers.
We can do this.
Oh,
Didn't read the safety information as well before we went. We're
Maybe-
already here now. It seems a little bit pointless now.
it's yeah. We're hello. No,
Oh.
I want my. Oh, there it is. That's nice. Oh, we could have had subtitles on. That would have been a help. Never mind. I think we're just gonna have to hold it in. We're gonna have to hold it in, I'm afraid.
We can hold it in. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
We can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And besides, once you break the seal, yeah,
Oh, you won't be able to stop.
up and down, up and down. Not in airplane mode. Good luck. Yeah, yeah. It'd be funny if that actually made a difference. They do all that business of taking water and snow globes off of you as you board the plane, and then but leave you your mobile phone on the strict instructions that you're not to switch it on in case it crashes the plane. I don't know. I feel like there's an inconsistency there. I think so. So I'm going to put my neck on the line here and say that actually having your phone on, it's not that big a deal. Not that big a deal. Was there a sketch where somebody, it might be in a YouTube video, somebody has their phone on airplane mode, so it's just them pretending it's an aeroplane. It's not a good sketch. It's not a good sketch now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's
So-
terrible. Oh no.
The thing as well is it's a visual joke. So if you explain a visual joke, it's never as good. It's never as good as it. The people who didn't
No.
use airplane mode aren't around to tell us, are they?
No.
What I'm saying, Kens, is that if that was the reason, then they'd take the phones off of us as well. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't wait till enough planes have crashed. Anyway, that's what I think about that. Yeah, snow globes. I keep meaning to double check this because I imagine it's changed. But the most confiscated item at I think Heathrow is
snow globes?
is snow globes because people
No way.
people buy them as a souvenir. All little, tiny little houses of Parliament, and yeah, and then they get to the aeroplane. They get to the airport and they're going through security, and it's like, "Watch this, lady," because all of the Heathrow security people are American, and it's like, "What's a snow globe?" He goes, "This is a container of liquid, and we can't allow containers of liquid out of a plane." So
No.
they have them away. Yeah. And it just sort of, if you'll excuse the faint pun, the pun adjacency of this, it sort of flies under their radar, really, as a container of liquid when they buy it. I thought we were going to get interrupted then. So, is this the best flight you've ever been on? Or one of the best?
Of course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've enjoyed it.
Yes.
I enjoyed that little snafu at the start where we were on the wrong plane for 15 minutes.
I know, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was all their fault, really.
I know.
We just wandered in oblivious.
Yeah, they checked. We had our boarding passes checked. We went out. We shook hands with the pilot and the co-pilot.
They knew.
All
They
the-
knew it was all there.
All the normal plane stuff. I think they just
They
wanted
just
to meet
decided
us.
to toy with us. Yeah.
It was just snow in the
probably.
place. Snow, Orange Phoenix. What is snow if not water? Huh? Yeah. It's how it gets you. It's how it gets you.
It's how it gets.
Snow is water in disguise. I'm trying to imagine how that would play out. Are you glad you came?
I am glad I came. It's been very enjoyable. I've not done anything like this before, so for me it was very new and very interesting, and I was very flattered for you to have asked me
Oh.
to do this.
Nothing.
So-
Nothing. It's I'm just I'm sad it was a bit technically bumpy.
It's fine. I'm a streamer. Everything is
This true.
technically
This is
bumpy.
Hit it with spanners. It'll be fine.
Yeah, hit it with spanners, shout at it, delete it, reinstall it. Yeah, I mean, the guys will tell you. Some of my regulars in chat will tell you about me and my shenanigans with sound issues, etc. You should consider streaming. You're a natural. Fuck you, Fox.
So I think my favourite line with that is with colleagues. Whether have you ever thought you're very good at that? Have you ever
Exactly,
considered doing
OP.
it? Have you ever considered doing it professionally?
Oh,
Which is it's
Please,
it's
ouch.
so harsh.
Mhm.
It's so harsh.
sure, Fox.
You gotta
Uh-huh.
know who you're unleashing that on, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fox, you should consider becoming a voice actor. You're incredibly good at it, darling.
I'm assuming that Whitish Fox is a voice actor.
I can neither confirm or deny,
Well,
based on my previous statement.
blimey. Oof. Oof. It's a double
Sorry,
blow.
Fox.
Quick 1-2 there.
It's just been double tapped. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, did I double tap the other day?
Did what?
I've got wayward fingers. I'm very good at sort of
Excuse me.
involuntarily clicking the mouse buttons.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
it's horrendous, especially in Blender. Do that in Blender and you lose half a scene. It's terrible.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
We're making a bar.
Yes, I know. One of the bars from one of the outposts.
Yes, Hutton Orbital. Have you been out to Hutton yet?
I have been out to Hutton.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Control Ninja Control. I am restraining myself. I am not fully unleashed.
What? You've still got your safety
Yeah, I've been
belts
to
on.
Hutton. I went there for my free Anaconda.
Oh,
It turns
right.
out it wasn't.
Yeah, that's
it
not a
wasn't something
thing.
that actually,
Because
no, it's
200
not,
credits.
It's not a thing. Yeah, no. I got my mug and gin though. I was quite happy with those. I did it on stream, and everyone was like, "It's gonna take you ages to get there," and I'm like, "No, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm doing it. And when I put my mind to something, I will do it."
Yeah.
So,
90 minutes later.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun. I mean, everybody stuck around,
That's
right?
the thing,
It
yeah,
was-
yeah. Is that it's almost sort of it's like a pure streaming state that you go into because it's like right, nothing's going to happen apart from sitting in this ship, me and chat. So let's have at it.
No, OP, they didn't give me a voucher. It was it was fun. There was much chaos to have been had when I was making that journey. I think my longest journey I've gone on in Elite Dangerous was to Cupid's bow. Yeah. No, Cupid's arrow. Cupid's arrow? Cupid's arrow, I think it's Cupid. Yeah, Cupid's arrow. That was fun. I enjoyed that. That was really, really good. Hence why I want to learn more about the game.
I don't think I've been there. We went out to the furthest point that you can go. I think or could go. That might have changed. We did Distant Worlds 2. Then when we got to the
Yeah.
end of Distant Worlds 2, we just kept going, but only a little bit. It's only, but it gets quite scary out there because you can only progress through doing boosts. Not the pulsar onset boosts, but just the general sort of synthesis boosts.
Right.
The jumpanium or whatever we call it. I can't remember. Yeah, jumponium. I think jumponium. That sounds right. And that was quite fun because it was sort of. Distant Worlds 2 was fabulous, but it was sort of exploration by numbers pretty much. And you knew that you were surrounded by lots of other explorers the whole time as well.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so it was only really when we got to the end that we decided to go on. I know we just touched ground.
We have.
But yeah, if that was the end, for me that was like the real bit of Distant Worlds 2. Was that final extra epilogue? experience.
Tactical reconnaissance loop. It's a loop of observation.
Another streamer doing a stream similar to this, but with 15 commanders chatting as we all flew simultaneously to Hutton. Ah,
That sounds amazing.
I think I might have done that. I can't remember if OP was there. But we played I Spy, and we played Yellow Car. It's the quietest game of Yellow
Oh,
Car
really?
that's ever been played, I think.
Can imagine.
Yeah, it was a bad choice. It was a bad choice.
Oh golly.
Yellow Car is where you say Yellow Car every time you see a yellow car, which is on the way to Hutton is never.
For your safety and comfort,
Yeah.
please remain
think
seated
we do
with
Yellow
your
Star.
seatbelt
That
wouldn't have
fastened
happened.
until the
Do Yellow
captain
Star.
turns off the
That's
fasten
fine.
seatbelt sign.
That works,
This will
but not
indicate
Yellow
that we
Car.
have parked at the gate and that it is safe for you to get up.
You might
Cellular
see that
phones may be
Tesla.
used now.
That's and I don't think the Tesla was yellow.
No, I don't think it was.
No. It's amazing that
Almost
Tesla didn't
in.
go on fire, really, when you think about it. Of all the Teslas, which of these Teslas is the one that's going to go on fire? Is it the one that we shot at and shot into space? Yeah, it's that one. No, it's not. It's not that one. That's not the one that went on fire.
That is the one.
Look, we can do this. Look, can we do this?
Can we do this?
Brilliant. No,
That's cool.
We can't do that one. Can't do that one.
No.
That's a shame. Oh, right. Well,
In.
We've arrived. We've arrived.
And I'll see you in the bar later.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. As soon as we've finished building it. It's just one wall at the moment, which you don't want floating in space, really. So,
No.
Ninja Space Unicorn, when do you stream? Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitch. Ninja Space Unicorn is the name of my channel, and you can also find me on Twitter at Ninja Space Space, and Instagram at Ninja Space Unicorn.
Wonderful.
And I stream Tuesday daytimes,
Ladies and
Wednesday
gentlemen, welcome
daytimes,
to
and then
Kennedy International
Thursday I tend to
Airport.
do a later stream into the evening, and
Nice.
then my new slot, which is a Friday night
It's
Fight Club
around
slot as well, which is
7.
a short stream, just main for unleashing the fury of the week out in a good session of murderings
Excellent.
in ground combat. So yes, that's where you can find me.
Fantastic. So, if you're not following already, and I know there's a lot of your crew in
On
in
behalf
chat
of myself
already.
and the rest
you're
of our
not,
There's a
hardworking
few,
crew
yeah.
would like to thank you for choosing Pan Atlantic on your
smash
trip
that
today.
follow button.
We know you have a
Tickle
choice of
my
carriers,
button.
and we appreciate you choosing Pan Atlantic today.
Button.
We'd love to see you
Tickle.
on
Tickle
board
my
again
pickle.
soon.
Tickle my
In the
tickle my
meantime,
button. Yeah,
have
sorry,
a
that makes
wonderful
sense. Why would I pick
My
button?
button. Not
makes
my
more sense.
pickle. I
Makes more
don't. I'm a
sense.
unicorn. I don't have a pickle.
Oh.
Wait, do I?
Hello.
Did I eat? I guess that's a question for another conversation,
I
right?
think so. I think so.
Um,
Yes. That's on the flight back. I think that one.
That's on the flight back.
Yes.
But yes, 07s to you all. It was lovely seeing you
07s.
all, and thank you again for the invite. And it's been lovely
Thank you
speaking
for
with you this
thank you for coming.
evening.
Okay. We've got an end capture. So Ninja will be back on. I should have been listening. Friday. You're back tomorrow for your fight club.
I am.
I will.
Tomorrow for my fight club.
I will hopefully be back on Sunday with some Elite Dangerous fun. But until then, fly safe, and I'll see you in the black.
Yes, 07.